Since its introduction in 1999, the Lexus RX 350 has been one of the best-selling luxury utility vehicles in the U.S. How do you make sure this third generation lives up to the promise fulfilled by its predecessors? Attention to detail for start. Nowhere is it more evident than here in Canada, the only plant outside Japan that produces Lexus cars. This factory embodies the Japanese principle of Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. Each worker is asked to build each car as though it was going to be their own. In fact, they can boast they produce zero landfill waste during their manufacturing process. It all begins in what they call the coil field, in the press shop. These rolls of North American steel can weigh up to 55,000 pounds. Blanks are cut, inspected, then washed 2 times before the various panels of the vehicle are stamped out on 1,500 metric ton presses. The individual panels are transformed into the shell of the car in the weld shop. Highly automated, it takes robots 3.5 hours to perform the 4,000 welds required to complete the outer body. But it takes a human's touch and intricate measurements to make sure it's right. There are over 220 process checks performed in the weld shop alone. Godzilla, the nickname for this robot, places the finished shell onto a conveyor that runs above the factory floor and delivers it to the most restricted section of the Lexus plant, the paint shop. It takes each RX shell 11.5 hours to travel the 1.3 miles on conveyors to pass through the entire paint shop, including prep, paint, and final inspection. There are 12 stages of intense cleansing before the body is completely immersed into the ED, or electro-deposition tank, that's filled with an electrically charged solution that helps bond the paint to the surface of the car, as well as prevent corrosion. The shell is rinsed 10 more times before 240 feet of sealant is applied by both robots and team members. The primer, base coat, and clear coat is applied by robots. Ovens dry and bake the various applications throughout the process. As it heads out of paint, the shell starts to look like a car. But it's in the very busy lines of assembly where the real guts of the vehicle come together, from almost 2,000 parts. In assembly, everything from the electrical system, roof lining, and instrument panel to the tires, seats, and gasoline is added. Parts delivery is assisted by AGVs, or automated guided vehicles, that run on sensors buried in the floor. While most of the assembly is done by hand, team members and robots work together to do some of the heavy lifting, like putting in the front and back windows.
It's all about attention to details, and that can only be done by people.
The engine comes from West Virginia. It's the only large component not assembled in the Cambridge factory. That's joined with the drive shaft. And finally, it's time for the powertrain to be married to the body of the RX. At the end of the line, the vehicle is started for the first time and run through some basic tests, including alignment, performance, and a major water leak test. Every RX is put through 75 consumer checks, done from the point of view of a driver. On the way out, every car is put through basic tests on a short track. By the time this brand new Lexus RX 350 leaves the factory grounds, it's been inspected almost 1,800 times.
So by building each vehicle as though it were your own, we maintain that pursuit of perfection, making sure that every single vehicle, not some, not every other one, but every vehicle is perfect every time, and we exceed all of our customers' expectations.